election is over, or isn't it, really? Now we're talking about recounts. Wisconsin in particular, these 3 million votes are being recounted, and it's just really interesting since it's Jill Stein who decided to start this thing with some support from Hillary Clinton. Let's start with you, Heidi, for just a second on this, because wasn't the rigged election Donald Trump's thing?
Yes, it's the crazy part is that he kept talking about the rigged election, the rigged election. Now on the other side, we have this recount, which is going through Jill Stein, the 1%er that's really trying to do it for Clinton. It's just strange because, yeah, it's like a flipping of sides. But then you see on Twitter, Donald Trump, when he could just be quiet, lay low, he won, being like, never mind, I won all of it. It's huge. You know, and then you're like,
well, why is this so important to him? To not just win, but win big, but right, I got to win the popular vote too. Why is that such a big deal for him?
He doesn't like to be a loser. And in some ways it's losing. It is losing.
Just one more piece there. You think that's true?
I do, and I think the really insightful thing that Heidi said there, which for the entire, especially general election campaign, there would be some really bad stuff that would come out about Hillary Clinton. And normal, typical campaign advice would be, great, just stay low for a day or two and let the press do a feeding frenzy on Hillary, because they're going to come back to you. But no, I mean, something bad about the email servers would happen, and Trump would come out with "kill all puppies" or something. and now we'll only talk about Trump, and it seems so stupid because we were going to ravage Hillary for 2 or 3 days. But the genius was that every day of the general election, Trump was more interesting than Hillary Clinton, and the press was on Trump every day instead of Hillary Clinton.
Controlled the whole news cycle.
And that's what mattered.
Compare, if you don't mind, because you were involved in the recount in Florida at the time, kind of some similarities there between what's happening right now?
Well, of course, that was confined to one state, whereas this, seems to be expanding to 3. And I went down there for Bush as counsel for Bush over Broward County, and I have to admit, I went down with a kind of a white hat, black hat mentality that they're trying to steal this election from George W. Bush. When I got down there, I realized it was a real street fight. I don't know that this will be quite the same. I agree with how you started this discussion. The thing that's most annoying about, not putting words into your mouth, but that was most annoying about this recount is that it's not Hillary Clinton. I think she arguably has the right to have called for one. But that she kind of let Jill Stein do it, who has zero chance of anything improving for her.
What do you think about that,
well,
Rich?
I think we're playing this election out in a really interesting way. I think those who are disaffected are just simply saying, we won the election and we won it fair and square because we won the popular vote. These elections are geared towards electoral vote victories. It really would be like the University of Utah saying, look, we didn't score as many points as they did, but we got more yards. And we ought to be talking about the yards here. And it really is inconsistent. If Donald Trump, I think I've come to believe this. I didn't on Election Day. I didn't think he was going to win. I thought he was going to get mowed over and blown out. But I've come to believe that if it had been popular vote that we'd been going after, that they would have figured out a way to win the popular vote. And there would have been a different election turnout that way. But that's not what we gauge our presidential victors on.
That's true. But for the Democrats who are kind of reeling a little bit, not just in the presidency, but in other slots around the country, is being able to say they won the popular vote an important thing for their rebuilding efforts? You think?
No.
It
You don't
feels
think
like
so?
sour grapes because Clinton went into this with an algorithm, some system that was supposed to like change all systems to get the Electoral College vote that kind of knew how to go in there with the ground game and fix it. So they were supposedly going in there with a way to win that was supposed to be passed down from generation to generation. It didn't work.
People in elections don't act intuitively. They act on the basis of data.
Yeah.
And the data was telling the Clinton people that the more she was out there, the less effective she was, and the more people didn't like her. And she went away for the last 3 weeks. And Trump owned the last 3 weeks and began to surge, and they won it on the basis of that. There was a miscalculation because people read the data wrong. And we were in a period of time when we had a president who was unusually popular at this point in the career, where the right-wrong direction was 70% wrong direction, and where Hillary Clinton was out campaigning on status quo. It didn't make sense, and it wasn't going to win, but it was a really fascinating concept to watch.
It's going to be great for us to talk about for some time.
Absolutely.
Bad for pantsuit sales, though. Sorry, everyone who's printed those off.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah.
We found a loser in the whole thing.
Yeah.
So thank you all so much for your comments and insights. It's just extremely helpful.
Thanks, Jason.
Yeah, nice to be here. Thank you.